nose, and on the inside there was a nasal fracture. And I don't totally know what that means, but it's not the same as like a broken nose. The doctor was even fairly dismissive. He did the x-ray and said, oh, well, you only have a nasal fracture, and sent me on my way. And it doesn't hurt is the good news. So,
well, I'm doing this just so people, a lot of people don't know about this. A lot of us do, though, but I want them to know what goes on in that ring. But I got to say, your opponent, he was exhausted. He had black and blue marks all over his body. I honestly thought he was going to go in there and kick your butt in 30 seconds. Didn't you get that impression?
I think he did too. You know, I listened to some of the pre-fight build-up, and I think he was pretty sincere when he was dismissing me. That was a contender fight. The winner of that match was declared the #1 contender for the World Championship. And I think that was a spot that he was just very confident he would get in. One in his own mind, but then as well, like I said, the fans and everything, they drove him to a 5-1 favorite. That was, I think, the biggest spread on the entire card, 5-1. So yeah, you get told it enough times, you start to believe it's true. And yeah, I think he thought it was going to be a walk in the park, as they say.
Yeah, well, I was rooting for you, baby, and you came through.
I appreciate that.
Now, Chael Sonnen is who I'm talking to, one of the great fighters, middleweight fighter, UFC. Now, you're running for a state house seat in Oregon because the guy's running for Congress. Now, where is this house seat?
This is it's a suburb of Portland. The city is West Lynn. It's West Lynn and Tualatin. That's my hometown, is West Lynn, Oregon. The gentleman who has the seat and is vacating it is a guy named Scott Bruin. He's an outstanding representative. He's an absolute leader in this state, and he's going to run for the congressional seat against the sitting incumbent is a gentleman named Kurt Schrader, who's on the Democratic side. And Schrader seems like a nice enough guy. He's Nancy Pelosi's lapdog at the end of the day. Okay. And Scott Bruin, I believe, is going to in that seat decisively.
Don't comment on this, but most of the Democrats coming out of Oregon are really left-wing radical nut jobs. You don't need to comment on that. That's just my opinion. Well,
I appreciate that.
What is there a primary, or are you the nominee, or what?
At this point, it was going to be a contested primary. When I threw my hat in the ring, the primary opponents have pulled out. So currently I'm running unopposed. The filing deadline still has about another 30-day window. I am not expecting anybody else to come in. I believe I will be unopposed. The Democratic side has 3 people running, and it's a pretty good little race they're going to have. Be a pretty tough fight for whoever comes out of there. They're going to have to spend some money and some energy.
Now, your website is votesonnen.com, right?
That's correct. VOTESONNEN.com, if you don't mind me doing a shameless plug there. But yeah, votesonnen.com, all the information and ways to contribute if anybody's interested.
Mr. Producer, let's put that on the front of our homepage, votesonnen, SONNEN.com. We're going to be watching this race carefully. And now, do you have another fight coming up, or they figure those things out in a month or two, or how does that work?
You know, for this usually it takes about a month, and then you'll hear, that's when you'll get the call, and then you'll get a call that the fight is going to be in 2 or 3 more months. So about a 3 to 4 month spread between competitions. My situation's a little bit different because it guaranteed me a spot for the championship. The championship has to now be fought. It's already set. The current champion is a guy named Anderson Silva. He's scheduled to take on Vitor Belfort. Whoever wins that fight will then come and face me. It usually goes the other way around, where the champion is set in stone. He's sitting there waiting in, like, the finals, and the challenger then comes in. It went out of order this time. We did the challenger match first, so I'm into the finals, and now whoever ends up the champion between those two, and they're going to fight in the Middle East. They're going to fight in the United Arab Emirates in Abu Dhabi on April 10th. Whoever wins that match will come into the finals against me.
Listen to me, this Anderson Silva, we got to root against him.
Oh yeah, no, we got to root against him. We've got to find a way to bring him down. He's been champion for 3.5 years. He's kept middleweight title in Brazil for 3.5 years, and we're going to make sure it comes back to America.
But we got to root against him in this fight in this Arab country, because this guy, I've watched this guy, he's very good.
He's outstanding. His skills truly are admirable.
I mean, he's got really long arms and really long legs, and, you know better than I. Now, look, we want to help get you elected, so I want to make it clear. It's vote Sonnen, SONNEN.com. This is a solid guy, ladies and gentlemen, and you see how articulate he is, and that's what drew me. I'm thinking, God, this guy's smart as hell. What's he doing in there?
I appreciate that. I have to deal with a little bit of that of, hey, you got a very unique job. You know, what are you doing running for office? Well, it's kind of a little bit the opposite, Mark. I've actually been involved in politics long before fighting. My aunt is the head of the Right to Life. My sister's been involved. I've been behind the scenes. I've worked on campaigns. I've got legislation passed. I've had to lobby the legislature. I've testified in front of Senate subcommittees. I've been involved with politics long before fighting, but no more behind the scenes. I got to take this passion to the Capitol and make sure that some real things happen, because the foundation in Oregon is very unstable right now, and we've really got to level things out. We got to put the special interests aside and start looking out for the folks. And that is
I got a hard break.
Speak.
I want you to know it's an enormous honor. Don't hang up. I'm going to have my call screener give you my email address. You need anything from me, you just ask, okay?
Awesome.
All right, brother, and we wish you the best, and I'm going to keep an eye on you, and you keep at it. You're just a terrific all-around guy. I can see that. God bless you, my friend. We were talking to Chael Sonnen. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
Isn't that fascinating? Really intelligent guy. He was a NCAA All-American wrestler, middleweight. He's going to be fighting for the belt in a couple of months, I guess. And he's definitely getting involved in politics. You can tell he's a pro-lifer. He's a solid conservative. And I think he'll do very, very well. I'm just fascinated by people like this. Now, you may say to me, Mark, why do you watch stuff like this? My answer? I don't have the foggiest idea. I just like it. We'll be right back.